From the home of Falcon football, CBS 7 presents Falcon Focus with Jake Gaydon and Marshall Kramsky.
Good evening, Falcon faithful. I'm Jake Gaydon.
And I'm Tatum Gwen. Welcome to another edition of Falcon Focus. We are coming off a very busy weekend. All of our teams are all over the place looking for a couple W's.
Yeah, I agree with that, Tatum. Let's start with football. It was the Falcons' final game of the season, and they're looking to end it on a high note, kicking off against Texas A&M Kingsville. Let's look at the highlights. They look good, tied 7-7 early on, but Kingsville was looking to take care of business at home, and Coy DeMonter Jr. connecting with a 32-yard touchdown to Ryan Martinez to give the home team the lead, but the Falcon defense has carried the season all along, and they've done it again one more time last night. Hit UTB. It's a ball loose, recovered by Yaquez Tyler. UTB has the ball, and they would do something with it. After being set up with great field position, backup quarterback Cameron Mathis is going to be in under center. Takes advantage of it. Going to the big fella, Hunter Bowers. Are you kidding me? 310 pounds of that junior offensive lineman. Fighting Pater. Falcons stay woke. But the final score in this one, not going the Falcons' way. They lose in the second half at a final of 24-21.
A heartbreaker. Your Lady Falcons, they earned a spot to the Big Dance, the Lone Star Conference Championship Tournament. After last week's big upset against Angelo State, they made the trip to Stephenville for the conference tournament. First match was Thursday. The Lions came out of the gates fast, jumping to a 5-1 lead. They would push the lead to 8-3 before the Falcons would begin to chip away. The teams would trade points before the Falcons would take control of the set. The team would finish on a 10-2 run, including the last 7 points to take the first set. In that run, the Falcons were helped by 6 Lion errors. Moving now to the fourth set, just as the first 3 sets, the Falcons had to climb out of the hole, this time down 6-1. The Falcons would climb back into the set, and after a pair of Lion errors, the score was 13-10. Another Lion run would push the lead to 18-11. 3 straight errors by the Lions would make the score 19-15, but that's as close as the Falcons would get before the Lions would take the set 25-19.
All right, let's keep on going to Las Cruces for the Lady Falcons. For the basketball team taking on New Mexico State, the Falcons got off to a slow start offensively against this D1 program. Angler couldn't recover. They fell 70-38. Lamonte Natru and Callie Pipson's Tyron led the scoring for the Falcons with 13 and 12 points, respectively.
Well, there was a lot, and we are just getting started. We're going to take a deeper dive into each team throughout tonight's show.
All right, that includes one-on-one conversations with football head coach Justin Kerrigan. He's breaking down the season and what his staff is focusing on as they head into the off-season. Stay focused here on Falcon Focused.
Let's go Falcons!
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Gaydon and Marshall Kramsky.
Welcome back to Falcon Focus. Last night was a tough night for the football team as they lost a heartbreaker on the road to Texas A&M Kingsville to end the season with a record of 2-9.
This season was all about consistency. That's one thing head coach Justin Kerrigan preached all week in and week out.
I got a chance to talk more about the season with Coach Kerrigan at the one place you can almost always find him.
Where else?
That is on the gridiron. Okay, Coach Kerrigan, I've had the opportunity to do this with all of your new coaching members. Let's start talking about them. You brought in a lot of new faces this season. What have they meant for your program?
A lot. There's been a lot of good positive energy that those guys have brought. And going beyond just the X's and O's, the football things, there's got to be fit when you bring new people in, and I think we're kind of experiencing some of that within the university with Dr. Woodley and Dr. Farmer being here now, is making sure that there's good fit and everybody's on the same page. And I think that's been the biggest key with the new coaches, is that they've been a great fit to the staff, great fit to the kids, and have brought a lot of good new energy and excitement to the program.
You can see it just watching the sidelines on Saturdays. One thing that we have talked to about players with, every single one of them has said it is all about the little things. And I kind of feel like perhaps that's one of the themes from this year. How did you start the season off telling those guys that, buying into it's all about the little things?
Well, it just kind of goes to the beginning of the message, and wanting to make sure that we sustain the message throughout the year, and that we don't deviate from what the program's about, what our culture is, what our expectations are, and that it's always the same constant message. And so you kind of start off talking about the details at the beginning of the year, and the little things are where you win the championships. And for part of what our program is we define the term win as in what's important now. So we want guys to win in the classroom. So when we say when you're in the classroom, how do you win? Well, you're focused where your feet are, and make sure that you're present there. If we're in the community, make sure we're winning in the community. What does that mean? It just means that that's what's important at this moment in your life at this time. And those are the details, is don't get caught up thinking about other things or worrying about other things. Focus on where your feet are and control what you can control, and then preach that message all year long.
Certainly bought into it. So we're at the end of the season, taking a look back. What were some of the wins for you?
Well, I just think getting better. I think competing at the national level of looking at Midwestern State and Texas A&M Commerce, going toe-to-toe with those teams, I think is a huge win. I think those are big confidence boosters. I think that the big key for us is being able to win some of those other games. You know, when we play that well against the top in the country, then we should be beating some of the other teams. And that's where we got to learn to grow, is we've gotten so up for those big games and played them so well. We got to start coming out against the other opponents and play like we do. That to go 20-17 against Texas A&M Commerce should say that we should be winning a lot more. And I think that's the next step for us, is attacking every game with that same energy, passion, enthusiasm, and excitement, and we'll put together a lot more victories.
And that was a big game for y'all. So as you go into the off season, you're heading right out on start recruiting right after Saturday's game. Is that one thing that y'all be focusing on, is trying to get the right players in the right places?
Well, at the end of the day, we always want to make sure that we're bringing in people that can compete for a starting job. And the only reason that we talk about that, and we talk about with our current guys, is that iron sharpens iron, one man sharpens another. That everybody always needs to compete for that spot. And it doesn't matter if you're a starter, if you're a 3-year starter, if you're a one-day starter, you got to fight every day for that job. And so as we go out, we want to make sure that we're bringing in guys that we think can compete for a starting position. And then with that, do they come in with the academic integrity of what the university expects out of them? Can they handle the workload here? Are they going to have the same mindset in the off season, in the weight room, and in conditioning, and at 6 a.m. in the morning to attack those days? Are they going to fit our team culture that we already have in place? And that part of it's key.
Absolutely. Look back at 2016. You see that team, first football team for UT Permian Basin, to this year. How much have y'all grown, and how exciting is it to see that as this program's leader?
Grown leaps and bounds. You know, we go back a couple years where we're losing 70 to 20 on a weekly basis, and just painful. And a lot of young kids took a lot of lumps that year. Last year we grew a little bit in a lot of games, but those commerce games, those Midwestern games weren't close. And then this year, now we're playing a top level. You know, we went toe-to-toe against Division I Texas Southern, played Midwestern really well. Obviously, the Commerce game 20-17. To see where we're at now, I think it's all starting to come together. Excited about this one last game, and then to get to 2019, I think it's going to be an exciting year.
Absolutely, taking flight.
That's right. That's right.
So, okay, last question, most important question. I've asked every coach this question. Coach Kerrigan, if you had a superpower, what would your superpower be?
The ability to heal.
Oh, why is that?
Well, I think you can, obviously all of us with loved ones, you have the ability to take away any pain one might have. And no matter if it's a sickness or if it's a physical pain, if it's an emotional pain, the ability to heal, I think, would solve a lot of problems. And then with that, you can go forever. So if you can heal yourself, live as long as you want. So
I think that's the most profound answer that we've gotten. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Starting tomorrow, Coach Kerrigan and the rest of the staff are on the road recruiting, looking to build, like he said, to that 2019 team.
Yeah, they take in flight. Safe travels to them another season. Coming to a close for another one of our sports teams, the Lady Falcon volleyball team. They spent the past few days in Stephenville looking for a conference title. We take you there when Falcon Focus returns.
This is a 2-shot, 3-0 V-shot, 3-shot.
Should I be looking at the camera or at you when we're talking?
I think
You're just going to look at us the whole entire time.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, we're just going to do a 3-shot. Come on over. We're going to rock and roll it. Can I see your mic, the end of the mic?
Sure.
No, this one right there. Yeah. Perfect. No, yeah, he's already strapped in and ready to go. Perfect. And if you don't mind, just picking your head up for me real quick. I'll do this a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Rocking. No worries. How do you pronounce your last name, Coach? Lesh or Loesch?
Lesh.
Lesh. Okay.
Silent O.
Lesh. And then, so Coach, this is how it works. The 3-shot is on 1. The solo shot on you is 2. Don't worry about the cameras whatsoever.
Ignore it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about where to look. If you look anywhere other than that camera, just look
Look at one of
us.
us. Yeah, whoever's asking the questions, that's all you got to do.
Yeah. We won't ask you anything you don't know. Except for maybe the distance between here and Mars.
Don't know that one.
I actually made that joke to somebody one time, and they were like, "Oh, well, that answer is." They knew it. It's like,
What? Wait, what?
well, wasn't counting on that.
Perfect.
Regular season match was the upset was Angelo State
And
Tarleton.
And Tarleton.
Okay.
Tarleton was a bigger upset.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they
Okay.
mentioned here. So good.
'Cause
What's
I've
up?
heard both. Heard people talking about both.
What's up? You saying something to me? Oh, so it doesn't mess up? Yeah. Oh, that's dark. Okay.
Coach got a tan in Stephenville.
Indoor sport, we don't get out much.
Yeah, y'all have the sport where you go in for practice and it's one type of season outside, walk out.
Tilt down
And
a
it
little
could be
bit. There's
different.
a little too much headroom. Yeah, just tilt down. A little more. A little more.
Especially here.
Little
Everything
more.
Seems to change.
3. A little more. A little more. A little more. Perfect. Right there. We just don't want him to, it's all about headroom. Perfect. Rocking. We're good. Coach, can you just count down from 10 for us?
10, 9, 8, 7.
Perfect. We hear you. That's awesome. Wow.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
And this volleyball season has been a bit of a fairy tale for our Lady Falcons. And if you want a summary of how that season has been for them, look no further than their final home game of the regular season against Tarleton State. That was an upset match.
Pretty big stuff right there. They earned them a trip to the Lone Star Conference Championships in Stephenville, a first since 2011. Let's take you there.
The Falcons took on A&M Commerce in the 4th set. The Falcons were able to get themselves out of a hole after a pair of line errors. The score was 13-10. Another line run would push the lead to 18-11. 3 straight errors by the Lions would make that score 19-15, but that's as close as the Falcons were able to get before the Lions would take that set 25-19, ending their season.
The team's motto this season was believe. Now, head coach Tim Lesh says that the players had lived up by that by believing in themselves, believing in the coaches, and believing in the process all season long.
I love that, Coach Lesh. You are in studio with us this evening. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining us today. We appreciate it. So this, like Jake just mentioned, this was the first tournament appearance in 7 years That's huge. Talk about what that means. I mean, and all the hard work from this team.
Yeah, it's been a process that started 4 years ago. So some of these girls have been battling hard in the off season, during the season, during their summers to get here. So I'm really happy for them. It started with our preseason. We worked really hard there, played some good teams, and ended up having a good pre-conference season. And that just led us into the regular season where we gained some confidence, beat some teams that maybe we hadn't beaten in years.
Sure.
Coach, you weren't able to get out of the first round, but always getting to that playoff experience, getting that experience, that's huge for any team. So how big was it for your girls this year?
That was one of our goals, was to make the conference tournament and to win it. And although we didn't, we lost to the team that won it all. And if you have to lose, that's who you want to lose.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And it's a good team that we lost to. We played hard, we played well. And I think one of the things we proved this year, especially toward the end, is we can play and beat the good teams in the Lone Star. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of 2 levels from where we were. We proved we could beat some of the mid-level teams, and we were improving in a good team. But the way we finished really showed me, and I think showed the players, that wow, we can compete with anybody and beat them.
Absolutely, and especially watching that final game, seeing the girls, they got into a bit of a hole, but they were able to climb out of it. They've got some grit and they know how to work hard. And like we mentioned, y'all's team motto for the season was "Believe." How did that play into your success?
That was crucial because we'd struggled for a couple seasons, and the players were able to get some self-confidence by beating some teams early. And then it just snowballs. Then it's like, oh, maybe we can beat the next team and
Sure.
the team after that. And it helps them work harder in practice, helps them have confidence when it's a close game. And again, they took it to another level where, because we were able to beat some of those mid-level teams, they thought, let's just give it all we got and see if we can beat some of the top teams, and they did.
All right, last question for you, Coach. What's next? How do we build to 2019?
Well, we're recruiting right now, so we're planning to bring in 2 or 3 strong recruits. Another important thing will be getting healthy. We had a lot of injuries this season, and we need to get healthy in the off season. But we'll also do a lot of off-season training, get stronger, jump higher, get more skilled. We've got a group that is junior heavy right now, so we're expecting to have a lot of seniors on the court next year. And I think that'll help us be more consistent and push it to the next level.
I love it, Coach. Well, we're looking forward to that season. Let's talk about one of your players, Trevonna Matthews, a little bit more.
Yeah, perhaps one of the most inspiring stories can be found on the volleyball court, and it's hers. The junior, she's not just serving up heat match after match, she's also owning the classroom. Bump, set, vet tech. That's middle blocker Trevonna Matthews. Coming to UT Permian Basin was an easy choice for her.
Go, Falcons on 3, 1, 2, 3, Falcons! And he was like, hey, you're a good player. You want to come here? And I was like, sure.
On the court, Matthews dominates. She's 9th in conference in hitting percentage and 6th in blocks per set. If that doesn't impress you, she does all of that while going to school full-time and holding down a job at a local veterinarian clinic. A full plate, no doubt. But for Trevonna,
Honestly, it's just like another day doing something that I like to do.
she says it's not hard being able to balance all of it successfully.
Since I really like my job, it's not really hard to try to stay focused there. As far as classes, I just try to relate it to something I really like so that it actually sticks in my mind. Volleyball, I've been playing it since I was 5, so that's not something that's really hard.
Working with passion and purpose, no matter what type of match.
All right, guys, with volleyball and football season ending, that means one thing. It's time for the hardwood and basketball.
That's right. Both men and women's teams kicked off their seasons this week. We're talking all things basketball next. You're watching Falcon Focus on CBS 7. Let's go!
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
From head to toe, we got talent. From number 1 to number 10, we got talent.
I like that we're all new. because since we're all new, we can all bring something different to the team, which we do. And so I'm just really excited about what we're all going to bring.
I hope we improve quite a bit, but our potential is yet to be determined. So our goal is to reach whatever that may be.
I heard they were real scrappy group, real competitive, and they actually ran the conference, so we got a lot to live up to.
It's the first time in 7 years that my team has not been picked to win the league.
I think we could do big things as long as we keep playing together.
A clean slate, that is what UTPB basketball has entering the new season.
They've got 27 new players. They've joined both men and women's basketball teams, all trying to make their mark on UT Permian Basin athletics.
I like it, Tatum. We start with the men's side, who have a completely new roster led by first-year head coach Josh Newman, or Newman 2.0 as we call him, all right? He brings a new style of play to the Falcons with hard work and more length to his roster. A lot of this has to do a lot of how the season will go is still up in the air with this brand new team, but one thing is for sure, they want to build on the success the program has seen the past 2 years.
The chemistry is good, but we need to start to put the right guys together. So now we know what guys can do, but we need to make sure the starting 5 are together, the 6th, 7th man are together, and then we got to continue to push those 8, 9, 10 guys to try to push and get into that top 8. So I think the chemistry is good, but we're going to start narrowing down, honestly, minutes, and I think the chemistry will continue to grow.
We have a lot of guys that can do a little bit of everything, so I think what comes to my mind first is versatility, and we've kind of had to been forced to play with each other, so obviously we play really, really hard for each other. So that's another thing you'll see is a lot of effort on the floor.
I mean, we got something to fight for, even more, prove a lot to a lot of people, give our fans what they've been getting from the previous years, even more, just showing everybody different.
As for the women, head coach Ray Booth has had a full year of recruiting and brought in new players to play her style of play, which is up-tempo and aggressive. The team has 12 new players, including Midland High grad Alex Washington. And as Booth tells us, this team is already a family just 3 weeks into practice. As well as the girls, they want to bring that same success that the men have seen the past 2 years over on the girls' side.
We have 3 great returners, and we have 12 new people that are already on the same page. And so I think whenever you have a group that large on the same page, it's early and committed to the bigger picture and selfless, then yeah, it's exciting. It's definitely fun to come to practice every day to work with them.
I think we have a lot of diversity. We have people that are able to play multiple spots, positions, and are able to shoot and be inside, so I think that's a good threat for us. Off the court, I think we are all about the same thing. I think the chemistry is there both on and off the court.
I would want them to know that we're special, and like I said before, we all bring something different. And so they'll see that in how each and every one of us play and then how we bring it together as a team.
The women's team is now 1-1 on this young team, while the men are impressive. They started 2-0 under new head coach Josh Newman.
Looking good. We're going to take a short break with Falcon Focus. We'll be right back.
We're back with more Falcon Focus with Jake Dayton and Marshall Kramsky.
Thanks for watching Falcon Focus. That's all the time that we have tonight.
So for Tatum, Coach Lesh, and myself, you guys have a great week and go Falcons.